So I have the privilege of coaching new leaders who either step into a new role because they've been promoted, or maybe they're joining a new organization in a leadership capacity. And one of the questions they always ask me when they step into this new role is, what should I do to really ensure that I get off to a good start with my new team? And I always tell them, within the first 90 days, do everything you can to establish a large amount of trust with your team. Stephen Covey says trust is the currency of leadership, and I believe that with all of my heart. And so the way that you can break down trust is simply by breaking it into an acronym. The T stands for take time to connect with your team. Don't rush through this introductory period. Actually connect with them. Take the time needed to build rapport with them, whether it's going out to lunch, doing breakfast with them, spending time before meetings, after meetings, just connecting with your team. That if you want to build trust, you have to take time. The R stands for respect the history. Respect where your team has been and the work and sacrifices that those who have gone before you have put in to this organization. Now, that doesn't mean that you have to fall in line with what your predecessor was doing or do everything the way they did it, not by any stretch of the imagination, because you're the leader now and they brought you in to be the leader for a reason. But you also don't want to tread on your organization's history. Honor the organization's history. Speak highly of those who have gone before you, because one day there will be a leader after you, and you will want them to honor the time and energy you have put into that organization. So the T stands for take time to connect. The R stands for respect the history of the organization. The U stands for understand the unique strengths, weaknesses, and motivations of each of your team members. If you're going to lead your team into the future, you have to understand what are their motivations? What gets them going? How can I speak their work love language? You have to take time to understand your team. What are they good at? What are their struggles? What are their challenges? So that you as a leader can know how you need to lead your team. The S stands for small wins. Within those first 90 days, you want to do everything you can to generate small wins on your team. Those small wins really are a signal to your team that this person is a person of competence. They know what they're doing. There probably are some very small, annoying things that have been plaguing your team members. And if you can come in and address those things head on and generate some small wins, that will speak volumes about the type of leader you are going to be for your team. And then the last T stands for transform the culture. Understand that leadership and culture are opposite sides of the same coin. As you show up as the leader, you are the chief culture engineer. And people will be looking to you to signal, are we going to keep doing things the way that we've been doing them? Or is there going to be a culture shift? And so you have to understand the role you play in modeling and signaling which direction the culture of this organization is going to go in order to accomplish its goals in the future. So if you want to build trust, just focus on that acronym. T stands for take time. The R stands for respect the history. The U stands for understand your team members individually. The S stands for small wins. Generate them as quickly and as often as possible. And the last T stands for transform the culture. If you do these things, it will allow you to begin building the trust required in order to lead your team successfully.